everyone, and welcome to the Coffee Break Catch-Up series featuring women from the First Fridays network created by the Irish Secretariat's office in Belfast. My name is Amanda Ferguson, and I'm joined today by Niamh Flanagan, who is the Executive Director of Theatre and Dance NI. Welcome, Niamh. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. Thank you, Amanda.
Could you just explain to us a little bit about your role? What does being the Executive Director of Theatre and Dance NI involve?
Oh, sometimes it involves cleaning handles to get rid of any possibility of COVID virus in March. But no, more seriously, my job as executive director is to lead the organisation Theatre and Dance NI, which, would you believe, is the result of a merger which took place during lockdown. On the 24th of April, we merged with We Were Theatre and Dance. We were Theatre NI before, and we merged on the 24th of April in the middle of the most beautiful sunny day on a Friday afternoon with Dance Resource Space. So that was quite something. Our organisation is a resource organisation, support organisation for the theatre and dance sector, and we, over the years, both as Theatre NI and Dance Resource Space, support our organisations, our production companies, and our independents and freelancers to connect them, to help lead, to advocate on their behalf, and to develop training, etc. for all our members.
And what has 2020 been like for the arts?
Oh my goodness, I think it's well documented and acknowledged at this point, Amanda, that our sector has been extremely impacted negatively, and in particular our workforce has been impacted really directly, with, you know, mainly our independents have lost all of their gigs immediately. They lost them, and then of course there was all of the difficulties in accessing, you know, the different types of support from both government and, you know, support from other places. So yeah, I mean, to say that it has been very challenging would not be an understatement. So
yes, and as you've outlined, the arts is one of the hardest hit sectors, yet it's been the arts that have sort of helped people through hours of boredom or, you know, a bit of escapism, you know, during restrictions. Have you been making any art or consuming any art?
Well, I've been baking a lot of bread, and I never want to see a banana bread in my life again, I can tell you. Well, yeah, I mean, I have been consuming, like lots of people, lots of art, lots of theatre online, which I'm so amazed by the innovation and the entrepreneurialism of people who've got out there and, you know, who didn't even know what a Zoom was in February, and suddenly some of them are creating online workshops for young people. They're doing, when they were allowed, they were doing outdoor workshops for older people, going out and creating and making theatre and delivering theatre for older people in outside in care homes, and making theatre and working with young people with autism, making theatre for the radio, making online live stream workshops, you name it. I'm just so amazed at the innovation response to, you know, the negatives that people have really upskilled really quickly. It's I mean, been terrifying. I know I didn't know what a Zoom was in February.
Niamh, could you talk to us a little bit about what the future looks like for theatre in Northern Ireland?
If we can get all of the protections in place for the people who make and create and deliver theatre, I am really quite, if those challenges can be met and people can get their incomes secured, and that we retain that talent, because I mean, one of the biggest worries is that people will be put off coming into the sector, you know, given the challenges and the challenges that people have faced over the COVID. But the talent is immense. As you well know, what people have created has been unbelievable and innovative and of really high quality. We have done two online showcases, one for the Edinburgh Fringe Festival and one for as part of the Belfast International Arts Festival. And just the week before last, we did an online showcase of the contemporary dance talent that is here in Northern Ireland. If we can get that resourced, first of all, as I said, the incomes of the individuals resourced and the venues, etc., and the places where the work is created, if we can get all of those elements of the ecosystem supported and valued, then I think the future of theatre here is really, really, really promising. But it's all very dependent on us maintaining the workforce, and as I said, they're maintaining the venues and maintaining the access to training, maintaining and access to upskilling, particularly in light of that probably in the next year at least a lot of the work will be produced in a hybrid way. But yeah, I mean, if we can get those few things that are not a lot to ask for in place, then the future for theatre here is really good, and well, at least I hope it is anyway.
And what do you wish that people perhaps understood more about the value of the arts?
Really thinking about this and reflecting on this for so long, and we're just trying to work out what is it in Northern Ireland that has led us to this place where the arts has become so undervalued. I think that one of the things that has happened over COVID is that the arts has been more recognised, but it has been decimated since the funding, as we all know, and the investment into the arts has been has been decimated since 2012 and was under-resourced even before that. So I can't answer you that properly, Amanda. I am still trying to work that out, and we all are a group of us, and who work together and collaborate together in the sector. What do you think it is? Why is it so undervalued? I mean, it's such a limited budget that people have to deal with, and I just can't work it out. I don't know is the answer. It's a myriad of things.
I sometimes think that maybe it's the value isn't realized because it's just sort of taken for granted that with something sort of flowery or lighter, and the knock-on effects that it has on people's well-being, I don't think is taken into consideration. Obviously that's not across the board. There are people who do understand the impact for tourism and economy and all of those things, but it's just trying to persuade those in power perhaps to throw a bit more money at it would be great. We know that this year's been very challenging, and a lot of people have been reflecting on their own lives and perhaps changing things up or thinking about what they want from life. Is there any sort of silver linings for you? Is there anything that perhaps 2020 has given you or taught you that you're grateful for?
Oh, life in itself, and just in the morning, we've had some dark days, just with people getting ill and different things that have happened, and it's been really difficult to deal with that during this particularly challenging time. But I try most of my life and most on a daily basis to wake up and think, look at the positive side of things. So this morning I'm clapping the fact that there's a vaccine on the way and that it's getting rolled out. There's lots of bad news. One of the things that I've really learnt is not to spend too long on social media, because it actually causes me a lot of anxiety, because you think you're not doing enough, and you're reading about a lot of bad news all the time. So I have a couple of things that I do. I get outside every day, and that's great. One of the things that has been a joy is my daughter was home for a year after A-levels. She's just gone to Dublin to college, to uni, and we had the most amazing time. Exploring this place. What an amazing place. I come from a beautiful place anyway, down the country, but I had never ever before taken off in the car to see those small special places that are across the north. So I've become so acquainted with the north coast and that beautiful road, the mountains, the sea, walking in gardens that I didn't know existed, exploring waterfalls, smelling elderflower, thinking about the possibility of making elderflower cordial, but never getting there because I left it too late. But just that's been the best part. And you know what, just being kind, you know, and not getting animated and annoyed when somebody doesn't get back to you, you know, because everybody has challenges in their day, and you know, just trying to think, well, that'll happen, don't worry, you know. So mostly that, but some so I have to say some of those really heady first 4 months were really difficult, even though the weather was beautiful. But preciousness of life is the biggie for me.
And just in a more general theme, the best piece or one of the best pieces of advice you've ever been given? I ask most people this to see if there's anything I can learn.
The best piece of advice, I think, is just taking time to think. TTT. Taking time to think before you react. It's probably the best piece of advice. Don't always follow it. I'm an emotional person, but I think that's probably the best. And you know what? And being empathetic and kind, trying to be as kind as you possibly can. I think that's so, so important.
And you know, as you mentioned there earlier, there's some positive soundings about vaccines, and you know, we're in December now, and Christmas is upon us, and we're nearly into a new year, and spring sounds like it's going to be a better and brighter place. Is there anything in particular that you're looking forward to?
What am I looking forward to? I think getting out for a nice evening, seeing some live performances. That would be really lovely. Reading some good books. I've read lots of books, but you know, just like really reading something really wonderful, and a nice meal. Sunshine. I think some warmth would be really nice, wouldn't it?
Yes, it'd be lovely. Niamh, thank you so much for talking to me today, and thanks to the First Fridays Network for following these videos. We will see you all again in 2021.